Why is our brain says no to exercise? And do we have any way to reverse these feelings about exercise? That's what I'm going to talk with you guys here. And I'm going to talk about our negative experience we had in the past that affects the way we see exercises, but also our unhealthy beliefs and our sedentary lifestyle. So let's start with this, talk about these things. This lady that you see in this image here, she's the same person here in this image. Years ago, she was really happy, moving to playing, moving with friends in the park. But something happens to her that she felt different, the feelings about exercise. So what makes us children to lose the pleasure of exercise? Why we say no to exercise? I want to refer a study that the Harvard University did years ago about what makes people happy. And it's very interesting to notice that what makes people happy is very simple. In general, is having good relationships, make us happy and healthier. So that's the foundations of human nature. Good relationships. So all this is connected with exercise. I'm going to share with you guys what make us thrive or struggle in our lives. So let's talk about or think about the psychological needs. So we all feel, we need love, we need acceptance, we need to being heard or understood, having a sense of purpose, helping or inspiring others, belonging to a community, and growing contribution. This is example of psychological needs that we have, and these make us happy and want to do things. And when we talk about exercise, these things, if they are there, wow, is joy. We want to do more. But unfortunately, we live in a society that is not the main thing, is not these things that we do. It's the opposite. In general, we feel rejected, criticized, lonely, or unworthy, and ignored, misunderstood, dismissed, unmotivated, stuck, disconnected, and so on. And this is the most of the feelings that we experience when we think about exercises. And I'm going to give you examples now that really represent this thing. This is an example of a trainer in sports, where the trainer says, "Hi guys, I'm so happy because you won the last game. It's a great feeling when we win. Congratulations." So this is a very common reaction. So here the trainer is saying, you need to win so I can be happy, I can feel happy. Can you see the pressure, indirectly the pressure we put in in this case, children or teenagers or whatever, that my happiness, I'm the adult, the grown up person, and I need you to make me happy. So we are teaching the kids that it's not about joy, it's not about connections, it's not about having fun and some other very healthy feelings that we need. And that's why one of the reasons we become really not enjoying sports. Like me, I did so many sports, and I was a very active children, super active. All the time playing, moving. And then I did, in the first 20, 25 years of my life. But the last 15, I was encouraged to win, to play not for pleasure, to win, to be the best. And I was the best in lots of things. I was really good. And one day when I stopped doing exercises, when I stopped doing competition, I lost the pleasure because my mindset was focused on winning. Have the attention of others, have the recognitions of others for being good. So I lost my pleasure. So this doesn't happen only with people with traumatic experience in schools or people not very good, let's say, with sports. Can happen also to athletes, high level athletes that lose the pleasure of exercise and movement because of the focus on outside of us, on winning. Now here we have another different approach, another situation when the trainer says, I'm so proud of your effort, your attitude between you and all the respect for the other team during our last game. It makes me feel really happy. So notice the difference here. The trainer is happy because of the connection between them, the effort they put to play the game, and the respect they have to the other team. So this training is reinforcing the importance of respect and the connection they have between of them, and also their attitude. And he's happy for that. So when we have this kind of approach to people, special children, because they are, that we are helping them to build their feelings and beliefs for their life, make this kind of approach and helps them to enjoy play, enjoy exercise. Let's now see another example in schools. Let's see this example A. Someone is playing and someone says, you are an idiot. You are always making us lose the game. Let's say if 11, 12, 13 years old children that is not, not very good at sports, he knows he's not very coordinated, doesn't have the abilities that usually some other students have. Imagine how this guy feels with this observation. So if he believes already he's an idiot, if he feels like he's uncoordinated, and someone reinforces calling him idiot, what happens? He's going to believe like, wow, movement, exercise, play is not for me. Now, let's see another example of another friend to have a different relationship with this person that doesn't have, high skills with sports. No worries, mate. The other guys are really good. We do what we can. Let's have fun and try to do our best. So this has a much more positive impact in a friend when you are in school. And some kids, some children are boys and girls. They have this kind of philosophy because they are like that, or the parents teach them to be like that. But I'll say most are in the situation A. And I'm saying that because I was a physical education teacher for 16 years, and I saw so much of these behaviors. So, the A is traumatic, the B is a very positive impact. So if you remember, use this image and think about your experience in the past to help you to understand why exercise is not for you, or to help you to understand why some people around you that you care about, you love about, they don't exercise, because you're going to have more empathy if you also understand, like I did, why people don't like to exercise, because it's not natural. If you think about that, all the animals except humans, all the animals, doesn't matter the age, they love to move. Okay, of course, when they get older, they move less, but they move in a natural way. Humans are the only ones, they hate exercise. And most of them, they even believe that when we get older, it's time to rest. Wow, such a killer belief, because, we're going to rest. We're going to have a lot of time to rest when we change to another world, or in other words, when we die. All right. Now, another example, that traumatic example that doesn't help us to have a positive relationship with exercise or movement is this one. A father telling to the daughter, unfortunately, your sister is bad at sports. She isn't like you. So two negative things here, comparing children and also criticizing, putting down the other one, saying bad. So two traumas. Listen this every day or every week, every month, really make people away from sports, or can create the opposite, can create like, wow, you're telling me I'm not good, I'm going to be hard, I'm going to prove that I'm good. And both are not healthy, because one is from sadness, another one comes from anger, angry, instead of coming from pleasure, joy. So another positive way of doing, some parents, they are much more positive in this way, is another example. I'm so happy for your sister. she finally found activity that she really enjoys, and she is also making lots of friends. So this father is happy because she finally found something she enjoys, so she's enjoying. She's scary if she's enjoying or not, and is making friends. So he's caring about her connections, the relationship that is crucial for humans' mental and physical health also. Let's see another example. Now, let's say is someone that decide to find a trainer, and the trainer is there. Wow, come on, let's work hard. Let's do things. I'm going to help you. So it could be also trauma. And I'm going to tell you a story, a real story. I had a client for a while. He was 9 years old, and he told me, Linda, I had a trainer in the past, was a young trainer, and he decided to put a goal with me that, I'm going to help you, I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to help you to do 100 push-ups. So he told me, I did very intense training, years ago in my 50s. And one day I was able to do 100 push-ups. And then later, after a few days, the trainer came, he said, look, I have another goal for you. I'm going to help you to do 150 push-ups. Wow. Okay. The guy said, wow, you are the trainer. I trust you. You are the person with the knowledge. You know what is good for me. Tell me, I will do it. And after a few weeks, he got a really huge injury in his shoulder and took more than 1 year to fix. And he wasn't doing any exercise for years. So this is another example. We can be traumatized for people that we're supposed to trust. So we pay a professional to help me to improve the quality of life. And in opposite, I'm going to get the opposite. I'm going to get injured. I'm going to hurt myself. So it could be also a trauma and then of course we think about, wow, it's better not move, because if I want to take care of myself, I want to improve the quality of myself, but then I'm going to exercise, I hurt myself. So what's the point? So that's one. Another thing could be for a trauma from experience from a professional. Another thing you need to be careful is my advice. Make sure you find a group class. If you decide to join a group class, that is, you are ready for that level of training. So if you are unfit, if you are limitation, make sure you don't go to a class where the level is doing handstands. So it's another big mistake is people going to a classes, because it's cheaper or because it's social. People want to connect people. And even if the best trainer in the world is in the class, if the class is 10 people, 15 or even 6 or 7 or 20, doesn't matter the number. It's impossible for the trainer to adjust and give an exercise tailored to everyone. It's impossible. He's going to give 1 or 2 suggestions or 3 maximum and say, look, try this one or try that one. And if you don't know your body enough, if you don't know what is your limitations, what's going to happen? You're going to try probably something that your body is not ready to do, and then you're going to hurt yourself. All right? So, of course, if you know your body and if you are an active person, of course you can be in a group class because you know what you can do and what you can't do. But even with that, you can hurt yourself. It's a possibility. Another thing I said in the beginning is our beliefs. Imagine you go to a friend's house that invites you for a coffee and a tea, and you arrive and then everyone's sitting on the floor, on the carpet, and no sofa there. Wow, we will think about, wow, I think my friend is not, well. Why we think about that? Because everyone has a sofa. Now, my question here is, can you see that the image you see here on the screen is one of the most healthy ways to sit? And when we see healthy behaviors, in general, what we do, instead of adopting them, we criticize them. Probably when you saw these pictures, the first thing was, oh, what is this stupid thing? This is a yoga thing. No, someone having coffee and tea, inviting other friends. So we have what I want with this image is to us to reflect that we have so many unhealthy behaviors, so many that we don't even think about. And when someone comes with a healthy behavior, instead of us saying, looking and like, wow, what inspiration! I should do that. I'm going to try to do that. In general, the most of us criticize. You know, of course, one of the critics to this image, wow, this is too much pain on my back. I need to make effort. I want to relax in the sofa or on the chair. Of course, it's unhealthy because the back is not active when we sit on the chair, on the sofa. So this is just to help us to reflect how our beliefs and our behaviors that we don't think about is affecting us in a very negative way. Is another example. Imagine goes to a friend's, for a dinner, and then they invite, hey, let's play games. Let's go to the floor, playing games. Yeah. On the floor, okay, I'm not going too deep on this topic, but think about how did we get all the skills that our body can do when we grow? What did we do in the first year of our lives? On the floor, moving on the floor. And when we move on the floor on the first year of our lives, what happened is we build the skills to prepare our body to walk and then to run, to jump, and doing so many complex movements. And then we have beliefs, someone put in our mind, beliefs that when we go to the floor is silly, is for children, it's not for older people, or adults, even adults. And it's so unhealthy belief because, I'll give another example. When we have a fall, we trip, we have a fall. Why so many older people break things? Because they don't go to the floor anymore. They don't know. When they go to the floor, it's like something, a new world dawn. They don't know how to do the transition. And all the babies, when they fall, they know how to fall. It's in our genetics, and we lose. Why? Because we don't go to the floor anymore. We don't move on the floor. And then people think floor is stupid or is not for adult people of grow-ups. That's another belief. That's not healthy, unfortunately. The two paths of pleasure, one builds, another breaks. What does it mean with that? So I'm going to share with you I'm going to talk about pleasure and health, and pleasure and connection with health. I'm going to show the path A, that activities that build joy. So what does it mean is I'm going to share with you that things that will joy, so notice the words, will joy, is things that I put the effort today and I'm going to have the pleasure later. All right? This is build joy. Okay, let's go and see some examples. Exercise, walking, group classes, personal training. This is things, remember, that gives effort. We need to put effort. Cooking healthy meals at home, gardening or caring for pets, volunteering, learning new things, language, art, technique, cleaning, organizing, joining hobby groups, attending therapy, spiritual practice, meditation, following a health plan. So all these things here, we need to put effort. And most of the time, when we put effort, it's not pleasure, because required, effort, thinking, planning, organizing. But then the results we get give us the pleasure. So when I exercise, it's possible to exercise with pleasure also. But when I exercise, it's not possible all the time. Sometimes I need to do things that doesn't give me pleasure, because it gives me health. I know it's very important to build the strength. If I need to build strength on my arms, I need to put effort on my arm. And this is joyful to do strong training? No, but it's important, so I do it. Then I have strong arms. Then the other day I had a fall and I landed, and then I didn't break anything. Fantastic. So when we do all these things, we are followed by satisfaction. We have energy. We feel a sense of purpose. We have joy. This is the results of this mindset, living with this mindset. Now, in my experience, especially working with mature people, I notice that most of the people, especially when they retire, they move for the path B. And what is the path B? and these activities that drain joy. So what activities are these ones? I'm going to show you is the ones I have pleasure now, and then I'm going to suffer after. I'm going to have pain after. So what kind of activities are I'm talking about? Very simple, sitting for long hours watching TV or news, overeating sweets or processed foods, excessive social media scrolling, drinking alcohol, avoiding exercise, taking pills to solve health problems instead of healthy behaviors, shopping online out of boredom, and so on, isolating ourselves or avoiding connection with other people, taking pills to numb emotions, etc., etc. This is only a few examples. So when we do these things, and the moment we do, we feel the pleasure. So let's say sitting outside with some friends, have a drinks, enjoying the wine, enjoying the beer, wherever, or eating a pizza. Wow, tastes really good. I love pizza. The taste. Do I eat pizza? Very rare or almost never. Hamburgers, going McDonald's. Oh, such good taste, that food. Do I eat? No, I don't eat. Okay, so this is examples, and what are the consequences of these ones? The consequences are, boredom after. So when we do, like the guys on the camel here, is enjoying. So when you do enjoy, but followed by what? Boredom, depression, low motivation, loneliness, anxiety, and so on, so on, so on. My question for you is, what path to pleasure are you choosing? A or B? Is your choice. Like I love that expression. We can take the horse to the water, but we can't help the horse drinking the water. And that's what we are trying to do at Empower Aging, is to give the knowledge, saying the water is here, guys. And we have a strategy that can help you, but we can't help you if you don't make the effort to drink the water. When I'm saying Empower Aging, any place that has good intentions, a good plan, efficient plan that change people's lives, only change if the person wants to be helped and do their job. Now, let's go for the positive thing. So even if I don't like exercise, if my brain says no to exercise, what can I do? What can I do to change my belief, my feelings about exercise? So I'm going to share a few tips with you. Here, for example, is a client, one of my ex-clients. She was 86 in his image doing the exercise. Beautiful lady. Find a trainer who fully respects, inspires, and accepts you. So when you find you're looking for a trainer, make sure it's the right trainer. Unfortunately, not everyone is ready to work, especially with mature people, experienced people. You need to find the right trainer. That's my recommendation. Find a trainer that knows how to modify the exercises to your body needs and limitations. What does it mean is make sure you find a trainer that can understand what you need and gives you the right exercises, and to make sure you don't get injured, but also you're going to enjoy it. All right? Make sure you find the right trainer for that. Now, you need to choose a program that is good for your body. Another thing, give example, CrossFit. People sometimes ask me, CrossFit is good or bad? No, we don't have bad programs or good programs. We have programs that are good for this kind of people, this kind of situation, and we have programs are not probably the best for a specific person. So if a person has a broken shoulder or recovering from an injury, maybe needs a physiotherapy for a while, and then move to something more challenging, not starting with the CrossFit program. So make sure you find a program that is really good for you. Could be swimming, could be classes with Empower Aging, private sessions with Empower Aging, wherever, or any other thing. Another thing is find a trainer and a group of people, if you choose to join a group, that people inspire you, support you as a positive impact, and then you feel like, wow, I can do that. This in opposite is like, wow, I can't, it's too hard, it's so difficulty, or is I'm so useless. If you have these feelings, are not in the right place. Make sure you find a place that inspires you. Another thing you can always do is to find a group or a partner to exercise, especially if you don't have the motivations to do things by yourself. I have clients, only a few that can do exercise by themselves, they can do at home. And the majority of my clients, in my experience, they don't have that motivation because, you know, you need to think about exercise. We grow up in a society that exercise is connected with pain. It's not pleasant. So being by myself doing exercise is like suffering alone, okay? But if you're in the group where the group is, or with a trainer that is very supportive and, you know, and inspire us, even if the exercise is challenging, you know, it's kind of painful in the beginning, but we have that positive aspect, the group aspect, the trainer, or maybe the studio, the place is beautiful, maybe nature. So we have other things that give pleasure. So that pleasure is more than the pain or the not enjoyable of the exercise that we get from the exercise. So one wins the other one, and then we want to do. So sometimes what happens is you start here with, you know, happen with some of mine for sometimes for months and years. They don't have the motivation to do by themselves, and then at some point that thing shifts and people start to do by themselves because now the exercise become pleasant because they can do things they enjoy. They do more acrobatic. They do things that they never thought they would be able to do, and that brings the joy and the pleasure to do. So if you are very unhealthy, if you haven't done any exercise for months or years and you don't know your body and you have limitations, please, I really recommend finding a personal trainer, a coach, a personal coach, okay? For motivation, for safety, that's, I will say, the first two main things. Now, find a place that people, you know, value self-growth, community, inspiration over competition. So, you know, at Power Aging, we work with mature people, experienced people, usually people over 60. And in this age group, all the groups, I would say, but I'm not going back to explore my philosophy about that now, but eliminating competitions is so important, gives us so much pleasure, okay? Inspiration, try to overcome myself is very healthy, but competing, try to win other ones, this is not healthy. So that's my invitation also to find this kind of environment. And like Kit here is my client almost for 10 years. He started with me in Sydney when I was in Australia, 2016, 17, and now we are 2025. And he came, I can guarantee you guys that are watching this video, this guy came to me with so many limitations, and you can ask him the first 3-4 years, almost no pleasure doing the exercise because it was so difficult, it was so challenging. And now is has amazing results. They improved so much things that even I can't believe he had so many improvements. And this is an example of you put the discipline, you put the effort today, and you're gonna get results. You're gonna get the pleasure in the future. And this happened not only with Kit, it's happened with so many of my clients. And it's not because I read that. I see every day this reality. If you are one of those persons that lost the hope that you're getting old, it's not possible to change your life, it's just negative. In no functional belief is always possible to change. Okay, it's always possible. Thank you, guys. This is our presentation. So we are Power Aging is in Portimão, is in Lagos, and is online. And if you want to any help, feel free to reach us. Thank you.